Hello, in this episode we are going to talk about metaphysics and quantum physics or theoretical physics, the similarities and interesting notes about them. Dark matter is a hypothetical type of matter distinct from dark energy, baryonic matter, ordinary matter such as protons and neutrons, and neutrinos. The existence of dark matter would explain a number of otherwise puzzling astronomical observations. The name refers to the fact that it does not emit or interact with electromagnetic radiation, such as light, and is thus invisible to the entire electromagnetic spectrum. Although dark matter has not been directly observed, its existence and properties are inferred from its gravitational effects such as the motions of visible matter, gravitational lensing, its influence on the universe's large-scale structure, on galaxies, and its effects in the cosmic microwave background. In physical cosmology and astronomy, dark energy is an unknown form of energy which is hypothesized to permeate all of space, tending to accelerate the expansion of the universe. Dark energy is the most accepted hypothesis to explain the observations since the 1990s indicating that the universe is expanding at an accelerating rate. Two proposed forms for dark energy are the cosmological constant, representing a constant energy density filling space homogeneously, and scalar fields such as quintessence or moduli, dynamic quantities whose energy density can vary in time and space. Contributions from scalar fields that are constant in space are usually also included in the cosmological constant. The cosmological constant can be formulated to be equivalent to the zero-point radiation of space, for instance the vacuum energy. Scalar fields that change in space can be difficult to distinguish from a cosmological constant because the change may be extremely slow. So, how can it be related to the metaphysics? Ectoplasm, from the Greek ektos, meaning outside, and plasma, meaning something formed or molded, is a term coined by Charles Richet to denote a substance or spiritual energy exteriorized by physical mediums. Ectoplasm is said to be associated with the formation of spirits. Ectoplasm is said to be formed by physical mediums when in a trance state. This material is excreted as a gauze-like substance from orifices on the medium's body, and spiritual entities are said to drape this substance over their non-physical body, enabling them to interact in the physical and real universe. Cytoplasm is an unknown form of energy. It is never observed, but in metaphysical experiments, its existence approved by mediums' experiments. This is interesting to see the same assumptions, form the matter and energy are applied to both sciences. Unfortunately, study of metaphysics and metaphysical world is always the last people are going through. But the facts is, metaphysical world is formalized by theoretical physicists all these years. Dark matter and dark energy working in the background, to run and make the universe. Ectoplasm and cytoplasm are working in the background and running metaphysical world. They might be the reason spirits are coming to existence. Same theory for the universe. We are going to continue, following the footprints of metaphysics in theoretical physics world. But what is next? The answer is matter and antimatter, or as it's called in metaphysics, yin and yang. In particle physics, antimatter is a material composed of the antiparticle partners to the corresponding particles of ordinary matter. A particle and its antiparticle have the same mass as one another, but opposite electric charge and other quantum numbers. For example, a proton has positive charge while an antiproton has negative charge. A collision between any particle and its antiparticle partner leads to their mutual annihilation, giving rise to various proportions of intense photons, gamma rays, neutrinos, and sometimes less massive particle-antiparticle pairs. The consequence of annihilation is a release of energy available for heat or work, proportional to the total matter and antimatter mass, in accord with the mass-energy equivalence equation, E equals mc2. In Chinese philosophy, yin and yang, also yin-yang or yin-yang, dark-bright, describe how seemingly opposite or contrary forces may actually be complementary, interconnected, and interdependent in the natural world, and how they may give rise to each other as they interrelate to one another. Many tangible dualities, such as light and dark, fire and water, expanding and contracting, are thought of as physical manifestations of the duality symbolized by yin and yang. Yin and yang, or matter and antimatter. The point is, the philosophy behind these theories are the same. In Iranian mysticism, it's also believed, when the spirit is joined to its other half, same concept as annihilation, the pure energy is the outcome. The best part is that, Iranian mystics said about it, in at least 500 years ago. But let me stop you here. Do I making these stuff up for you? Or there is something in reality? Metaphysics, or mysticism, and theoretical physics are the world with no limitation. The difference is human society does not give it enough attention and importance as they should. There has been so many facts and scientific discoveries, I faced, while I was studying the great poems or pieces of art from many well-known mystics, such as Sadi of Shiraz, Nizami, Molavi, or Rumi, and etc. The other fact about their relation and closeness is coming up. Quantum mechanics, QM, also known as quantum physics or quantum theory, including quantum field theory, is a branch of physics which is the fundamental theory of nature at small scales and low energy levels of atoms and subatomic particles. Quantum mechanics gradually arose from Max Planck's solution in 1900 to the blackbody radiation problem, reported 1859, and Albert Einstein's 1905 paper which offered a quantum-based theory to explain the photoelectric effect, reported 1887. Early quantum theory was profoundly reconceived in the mid-1920s. Hatef Esfahani is a famous Iranian poet of the 18th century. The poem is written on the screen saying, "If you open the heart of any particle, you'll find a sun in it." Could mean anything of a great understating of the quantum physics. I agree with the fact that he might not be a master of mathematical understating and approach to the problem, but the point is, some people experience a phenomenon in metaphysical world and say it secretly, like the Hatef Esfahani, and some people solve equations and turn the math out and reach the same conclusion but so many years later, like Einstein or Planck. As an experimental medium, better to go to the better points of the subject. Time travel. Time travel is the concept of movement, such as by a human, between certain points in time, analogous to movement between different points in space, typically using a hypothetical device known as a time machine, in the form of a vehicle or of a portal connecting distant points in time. Time travel is a recognized concept in philosophy and fiction, but traveling to an arbitrary point in time has a very limited support in theoretical physics, and usually only connected with quantum mechanics or wormholes, also known as Einstein-Rosen bridges. In a more narrow sense, one-way time travel into the future via time dilation is a well-understood phenomenon within the frameworks of special relativity and general relativity, but advancing a large amount of time is not feasible with current technology. The great scientists such as Einstein and Minkowski devoted a great part of their life to modeling the space and the phenomenon. Sadly, the evidence are not enough yet to prove this theory. A wormhole is a solution of the Einstein field equations having a non-trivial structure linking separate points in spacetime, much like a tunnel with two ends, each at separate points in spacetime. Such connections are consistent with the general theory of relativity, yet their existence remains hypothetical. A wormhole may connect extremely long distances such as a billion light-years or more, short distances such as a few meters, different universes, and or different points in time. Traversable wormholes. The Casimir effect shows that quantum field theory allows the energy density in certain regions of space to be negative relative to the ordinary vacuum energy, and it has been shown theoretically that quantum field theory allows states where energy can be arbitrarily negative at a given point. Many physicists, such as Stephen Hawking, Kip Thorne and others, therefore argue that such effects might make it possible to stabilize a traversable wormhole. As an experimental metaphysicist, I experienced the wormholes. In my many out-of-body experiences, I could go to the future, past, also I could come back to the present time. Furthermore, I'm always using these wormholes to go to different places as in spirit. I cannot remember a time, when I wanted to move as a spirit in my out-of-body experiences and I used a way or walked. I wanted to go somewhere, and then I was there. And not just hypothetical spaces. I experienced the places, which some friends and relatives been there. And they agreed with me on the details of that special location. Even more, sometime we see dreams from the past or the future. When we are asleep, we are having an out-of-body experience with this difference, which we are in a lower level of consciousness than desired out-of-body experience. Personally, I believe that if theoretical physicists try experiencing metaphysical world, it's like an experimental world for them, they might get some ideas, which would lead to the faster developments of the science. Who would know, it might be possible, some people like Einstein experience the metaphysical world. Also, all the theories about parallel universes, string theory, and etc. make sense and can be encountered. We are having out-of-body experience. We wish you a great time. Please, subscribe our channel for future episodes.